Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so this is going to be today's topic video. It is going to be for the 27th of June. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump on in and see where our storyline takes us. I feel like I want to start with something very like pare it down and get it down to just something super basic. So we have the Moon card. Well, that's not really basic, is it? Because it means that there's things that have been under the surface. You notice that she stands here though and she looks at her own reflection in the water. So I'm wondering if somebody is actually looking at themselves and going, hey, wait a minute, what role did I play in something? What is hidden that I hid from my own self? How did I not see things as clearly as maybe what I could have? Let's ask, what is hidden here? We've got a 5 of Wands and we've got a 2 of Pentacles. This person could be saying, as I look into the mirror, maybe I'm realizing that maybe I was part of this issue. Maybe a bunch of these problems are things that I actually needed to work on. Maybe someone that I dealt with, maybe they had similar things that they needed to work on, but maybe I only pointed the finger at them and didn't see it. I wonder if this is somebody who is just now opening up to like, oh my God, like maybe this person thought all along, oh, it was his fault, it was her fault. And they're just now going, what could it have been that I was also creating trouble here, creating issues. We have a 10 of Wands. And we have the Hermit in the reverse. I feel like they might be realizing this right at the point in time. Like, I wonder if somebody stayed very hostile and they were like, oh, it's all that person's fault. And then right when they like think about it, and they suddenly see their own behavior and they suddenly think, oh my God, what if I was actually a part of this? I actually produced some of the problems that then made my partner like react in a certain way because I was also contributing to this. I'm not saying that they're admitting all fault, but they're at least finally admitting some fault, but they're admitting it at the moment when the other person is done thinking about things and is letting this go. So we could have a Virgo who's letting go of this and any stress related to it. At the same time, someone else, possibly a Pisces, doesn't have to be, but someone else is just now having this big reveal like, oh my God, what if I contributed to our problems? In fact, they might even be saying, is it possible that I wanted to be with them, but I didn't realize that they actually did want to be with me as well? I'm a little bit concerned that this is going to turn out to be one of those tragedies, all because somebody didn't get it. It didn't click soon enough. We got a King of Pentacles, but they've got their box of belongings. Like I don't know if somebody had said like, I hope that, you're going to move in, or I want you to move in. And it didn't click for the other person that, wait a minute, they were ready to actually make this move. This was them saying that I want this. Hold on. Tell me how to look at the King of Pentacles. It's like somebody's just now realizing it could be an earth energy. Oh, we got a Queen of Swords. Okay, so hold on. Hindsight is always 20/20, right? So we've got an earth sign and an air sign. Doesn't matter what genders we're talking about, but we have a king and a queen. So we'll say that it's a matched energy, but they are two very different people. They process differently. Earth and air, not a whole lot in common, right? One's the sky, one's the ground. So they operate in two different realms of thought processes anyway. One person maybe shows seriousness by like acts of service or something, or they show their, what they want by actually like, trying to create space for someone in their day-to-day life. The other person, they they're more like thoughts that and maybe just this is somebody who was like good at texting or something, but they didn't really make tangible plans, whereas the other person might have sucked at texting, but if they were going to get a chance to spend time with this person that they cared about, like they pulled out all the stops, they made great meals, they really wanted that person to feel really special. So one person could have been more about action, the other person was more about like they showed affection through communication possibly, or through like, well, what do you mean? You're the person I talk to all the time. And it's like, yeah, but I just feel like these two, they weren't on the same page. And I think that this is just now clicking for someone who had never contemplated that they had actually contributed to the failure of this connection. Is this a failure? Hold on. I really shouldn't say that. I'm only saying it because the Hermit is in the reverse now. And with that 10 of Wands, to me, this is like somebody is no longer chewing on it, thinking about it anymore. They're like, I have thought this into the ground. I'm not thinking about this anymore. I'm letting them go. I'm letting go of this whole thing. Well, hold on. I don't want to go down the road if I don't have all the cards to support it. So that's as much as I should say here. We've got a 3 of Cups in the reverse, and we've got the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Now I can at least say, to me, it looks like these two definitely stopped communicating. Aries, baby, what are you doing? What are you doing, hon? What you do? Don't eat that, baby. Sorry. He's a sock thief. He doesn't really eat them or even chew them or rip them, but he just likes to like flip them around, and you hear him snorting over there. These two stopped communicating. And what's unfortunate is there was love on the table at one point. And they didn't make this work. They stopped talking about love. They stopped talking in loving ways about the person that they cared about. This should have been and could have been like, I talk about, I like this person. They're so, I'm so excited to, they might have initially been talking to friends and family about this person. Like, oh my God, I'm crazy about this person. All that stopped. So that's kind of what happened is they stopped saying good things about one another. They stopped talking loving words. Baby, stop. Hey. I know he's chewing on my rug over there. Aries, come here, baby. Yeah, that's my boy. That's my big boy. What you doing? You getting yourself into trouble. He's been Mr. Breaking in lately to the videos. Yeah, you everything. Don't you be mischievous tonight, okay? No mischief, big boy. He's been very protective also. Cutie pie. Sorry guys, my dog. I normally only bust in about once a week, but this week it's been like 3 times. I apologize. Those of you that don't love dogs, I'm probably not the right channel for you because he does bust in, and I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I love it. I love everything about this thing. This little furry buffalo that I call my dog. Okay. All right. No more mischief. We got a Queen of Pentacles. And you notice how this was like, it was an ordeal. It was climbing this ladder, looking up and saying, oh my God, how much effort would this take to try to get things worked out? I almost feel like someone would have invested, they would have put the time and energy in, but it just didn't turn out to be. Actually, I feel like somebody still wanted to put the time and energy in. We've got a 6 of Cups and we've got the King of Swords. It does really look like there was a desire still to work on things, to come into union. You notice that we actually have not 1, but 2 matched pairs. They've flipped roles now, is what I would suggest, though. I wonder if at one point in time, okay, this could get complicated, so I'll try to explain it as quick as I can. I never read for genders, right? But the divine masculine and feminine energies are like the energy of the sun and the moon. The sun is the masculine, and that's the action taking. And the feminine is the moon, and that is the gravitational pull or the nurturing energy. At one point in time, let's say this was and again, it's not gender specific, but for an example, I'll say this was actually depicting a woman and this was depicting the man, but they were in reversed roles, meaning one was like, I'm the action taker, I'm ready to make this relationship happen. The other one was like, I'm in the feminine energy, I want to be pursued, I want you to, like, you know, keep calling me and keep showing me how important I am. I want you to gravitate toward me, but with words. Meanwhile, the other person was like, I'm going to take action to show you that I want to be with you. And they could have mismatched in a lot of ways, is basically what I'm getting at. Now, these could be the same sex genders, they could be reverse gender roles, doesn't matter. But the bottom line is, at this point, they've switched roles. Now, whomever was the masculine, and I'm only suggesting this because I'm sticking with the suits, right? So we've got the pentacles. So whomever was in the divine masculine energy before is now in divine feminine energy, and they're looking at it going, I think this would be too much work. If they want this, they'd have to pursue me at this point. I'm really just going to be giving to my own endeavors right now, because looking at things with them, it just looks like a big long uphill climb. Meanwhile, the individual who used to be in the feminine energy is now the King of Swords instead of the Queen of Swords. They would be the action taker now. They're the ones who want to clearly express what it is that they want. And that is actually, I think that they've aligned better at this point, all because the roles have flipped completely. Remember, we said that in the beginning. We have a character who said, oh my God, was it my fault? Wait, did I contribute to a problem all this time? This could have been, once upon a time, the Queen of, sorry, wrong one. The Queen of Swords, who could have been a masculine, was blaming the King of Pentacles, saying, you didn't call me, you didn't tell me all the time that I was important. And so I blamed you. And now they're finally thinking, because they're in a different energy. They're in the masculine energy now. They're in the action-taking energy of the King of Swords, and going, oh my God, was it me that should have taken more action? Was it me that should have actually reassured my partner that I wanted to be with them? Did I misunderstand? They were telling me that they wanted to be with me, but they told me in different ways. They took action. They wanted to spend time with me, and I wanted to know, why aren't they calling me a ton, telling me that I'm fabulous, giving me all kinds of like accolades, support, telling me I'm the only one they ever want, telling me how sexy I am. They're just, now that they're having this turnaround where they're thinking, oh my God, did I actually contribute to this implosion of this relationship? Now that I look in the mirror and I see, what if I was in the divine feminine energy when I should have been in the action taking of the masculine at that point? Should have, could have. I'm not saying one's right or one's wrong. I'm just saying this is divine feminine energy also because it's the moon, right? And they're thinking all this out. At the same time, someone else, the other person in the party, is done thinking about stuff. They're done being in the King of Pentacles energy, where they're like, God, I tried so hard to tell somebody that I cared about them. I tried to put in energy, and now I'm finally done. I definitely don't want to try to like express through loving actions and, you know, wanted to build something with someone. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm done. I'm done thinking about it now. It looks like everything is flipped, right? Their roles have reversed from masculine, feminine energies, and their positions have reversed on, well, you're to blame. Oh, wait a second. What if I was to blame? All of this has flipped over, and that is perhaps why now we could have the return, because maybe their energies were so skewed at first. And when I say skewed, look, anybody can make anything work, right? But let's think of it this way. If I'll use myself as an example, I had recently, I recently put together some raised garden beds, and I thought I did it all right. And when I got to the very end steps, I realized I didn't. I missed one thing. And what it meant is the way I put it together will be absolutely sufficient, but the way I put it together did change one particular look, just a cosmetic look. And I decided, because I'm lazy, I don't care. I'll keep it looking cosmetically not as beautiful, but I wasn't about to undo it all and put it back together. And that is one of those situations that you could still have it work, but it won't look the same. Or you could undo it and do it properly, and it'll totally work out better. So maybe that's not the greatest example, because in this case, it looks like in order for this to be successful, they had to switch roles. They had to switch gears. Again, I really want to stress this could still be the same sex couple, but it's all about gender roles. Not gender roles, energetic roles. That's exactly what I'm trying to get across, is that it's not about gender, it's about the sun or the moon. It's about complementary energy, but for whatever reason, it really would flow better if they do-si-doed their positions, and who was going to be the action taker. Now, why was that so important that they do-si-do positions? Because I do want to know that, because really, why couldn't it have worked the other way, right? We have a matched couple, both anyway, because we got a 9 of Swords, because they caused each other a ton of stress. They weren't in the proper alignment. It would be like, okay, we got 2 feet and we got 2 shoes. Should work, right? 2 feet, 2 shoes. Sure. But if you put the right foot on the left, or right shoe on the left foot, we all know that don't feel right. That is all kinds of misery. But if we were to be more casual, like, what do you mean? It matches up. 2 feet, 2 shoes. Yeah, but there's an order. There really is. Otherwise, it's going to be super stressful walking in the wrong foots. I mean, if you're 2 years old, you can pull it off. But anywhere kind of after that, it gets pretty uncomfortable pretty fast. So I feel like that's the best way to describe this. They couldn't figure out what was wrong, because it's like, but I want this person. Why can't we seem to get it right? So what is it that now, what do they understand now? So let's start with, we're going to talk about them in the roles that they're currently in. So what does whomever is depicted by the earth energy, okay? Now remember, at this point in time, they're in divine feminine energy. So they're in the receptive energy at this point, whereas in the past, they were the ones that were in the masculine. So what have they learned at this point in time? Or like, what has changed? King of Cups, they have learned that I want somebody who actually shows me that they have affection for me. I want somebody that's emotionally, they don't leave me wondering if I'm important. I want someone who wants to be warm with me. So I'm willing to bet that this very giving, very loving individual, they felt like they didn't receive any emotional support from that relationship previously, and that's what they're realizing is important to them now. Now remember, they're the ones who said, I'm done thinking about this one. This is a loss. I'll just take it as a loss and I'll just move on and just let this go. This could be a Virgo. It doesn't have to be. But that's their big lesson. That's what they learned out of this is, you know what I know now? I want somebody that is warm and loving. I don't want to feel like I'm out in the cold. Okay, now what did our other character learn through all of this, right? In the past, they were in the divine feminine. At this point, they're in the divine masculine energy. They seem to be the one who's gone through like a pretty big transformation. What have they learned through this? I mean, I would argue that they both have. They, 7 of Wands, they have learned the hard way that a 7 is a number of change, but it's also how we deal with struggles. And perhaps they've learned that these struggles were unnecessary to a certain extent and learned how to get beyond those struggles. We're going to have to do a part 2 on this one. I'll see you guys in part 2. The free link will be right down below. I'll see you there.